Hi, my name is Bonsiwe Similane and welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. It's that time of the week again. Today I am going to be sharing my story. So I felt I've given some advice and it's time that I just gave you a snippet and a peek into my life. So if you want to hear about the time that I attended my boyfriend's engagement thing, you need to go grab yourself a cup of tea. Grab yourself a cup of tea, grab yourself a drink, and come listen to the time that I got hectically played. So, stay tuned. I had to battle with myself not to name drop on this thing because I'm like, no, people must know who this person is. But I've decided that I'm not going to name drop, I'm going to use a different name. There is noise in the background. We are under hectic spring cleaning right now. So everybody's home, we're there, we're scraping, we're spring cleaning. So if you hear noises and sounds that don't really make sense, it's the people on the other side of the house working. So let's get that tea in. So me and Guy, who we are going to call Shabu, meet. Okay, no, we don't meet. We go to two different churches, but our churches are friends. For those that don't know, I am a church girl. I love me some Jesus. So we meet through a mutual friend of ours. This mutual friend is a guy whom I thought was my brother that set me up for this here disaster. Anyhow, so we meet through this mutual friend. And a couple of days later, he blows up my Facebook inbox, asking me if is it cool for us to meet. I'm like, okay, no, dude, no problem. Let's get together. Let's meet. So we meet. Dude has Mac game on point. We decide, okay, no, fine. We're grown people. We know what we want in life. So let's get together. So we decide to date. Fast forward 8-9 months into this relationship. Guy starts getting like weird. He now doesn't have time. Like his time is all of a sudden preoccupied. He's got stuff that he's doing. So I say to him the one day, look, I'm not trying to fight with you or anything. I know we're both busy people, but I feel like you're not making this relationship a priority. Like you're all over the place, you're doing other things. And he's like, yeah, but you know that I'm on my way to becoming a pastor. So I'm busy with that. So why can't you understand? I'm like, dude, I'm not saying I don't understand. What I'm saying to you is that make time. I work, I've got things that I'm doing, but I make time for this relationship. Make time. It's all I'm arguing with you. Yeah, if you don't understand this now, you're never going to understand it as my wife. And what kind of mom fundis are you going to be if you don't understand this? I'm like, okay, first of all, I don't know why you're ranting and raving about being a mom fundis. I feel our mom fundisi, that's the problem right there that they have, is that guys or people forget to make time. I mean, whether I'm a mom fundis or whatever, if you're not making time for me, what kind of relationship are we having? So we bicker back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and we break up. And it was one of those breakups where it was like, you go your way, you go back to your corner, I'll go back to my corner, and we'll just breathe. And once we've taken a husa and censored ourselves, we'll come back and we'll sort this out. Because we are both angry and it's not going to help us to go at each other. So we agree and we conquer it and we go our own separate, for lack of a better description, ways. 3 weeks later, now, guys, I get an invitation. No, I already had the invitation from my cousin. In my head, I was going to take this guy to this wedding because, I need a +1. This guy is already my +1. The wedding is in a month and a half. So I need to get him prepared so that you can sort yourself out what you're going to dress like and things like that. So I'm like, okay. So me and my girl sit down and I'm like, girl, I need a plus one. I need to go to this wedding. I can't go to this wedding by myself. Whereas the invitation to this wedding says plus one. So I can't. And girl goes, look here. Anisha, you and Jabu didn't quite break up. So the two of y'all are technically still cool. Why don't you go? Why don't you call him and go to him? In a fit of anger, I sort of deleted his number and messages and WhatsApps and everything off my phone. So I didn't have his numbers anymore. Neither did my friend. So I figured, okay, I mean, I know where he goes to church. The best thing I can do is I will go to his church. And then if I don't find him, then I'll go to the mutual friend and ask him for his cell phone number, because I was avoiding having to explain why I'm needing my boyfriend's cell phone number. Anyway, so I go to the church. Now, you know this, I'm there, woke, I'm head done, nails done, looking all kinds of good, because I don't want to be rocking up there not looking on point. I mean, this is me we're talking about. Gets to the church. Now, you know this thing that's in here, guts feeling, said something is up in this here church. But I sit down, awesome praise and worship, church carries on, but the church is at a buzz. It's like there's like an excitement of sorts that's going on in this church, and they just happy, and I'm like, okay. So in my gut asked myself, girl, what would you do if this was, what's his name again? Oh, if this was Jabu's engagement? And I'm like, God, hey, no man, how can that be? Him and I broke up only 3 weeks ago. So how can we be attending an engagement? God goes, oh no, let's wait and see. We sit down, and me and God, we sit down and we wait and see. Dude comes into church and sits 2 rows in front of me. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, go say hi. You know, the church at the time, we were busy. It was a praise like session kind of thing that was going. I'm like, go say hi, you know, and then just let him know that you're here. And I'm like, nah, don't. Just let him be. You'll see him after church. So I let him be. At the church, there we are singing, we are praising. Pastor gets on stage. Pastor gets on stage. He's all kinds of excited. And then this pastor goes, can Jabu please come onto stage? Yeah. You should have seen the people in this church. They went crazy. They went crazy. I'm sitting there going, what's going on? The church went ballistic. And he was there in a green suit. And he looked good. The suit was green though, but anyway, he looked great. And the church went crazy. And the mamas in the church were ululating. It was excitement. I'm sitting there, dumbstruck, like my flabber was gusted. And I'm like, wait, what? Well, you know, in movies, when things start happening in slow motion, the guys in the movies have it correctly, because that's what happens in real life. Things start moving in slow motion. Dude goes up to the stage and he's busy shaking people's hands. People are congratulating him. He's shaking people's hands. I felt my stomach come to my throat. I'm like, I'm gonna puke. Oh, Lord, I'm gonna puke. People in this church are gonna ask themselves, why is this girl puking? Nobody here knows me. Oh my word. So he goes up to stage and I'm like, okay, censor yourself, Swole. Usa, breathe in, breathe out. Let's just see what's going to happen. So he stands up, and the pastor is like, it's not like I had said anything about this. Why are y'all excited? I never said why I'm calling him onto stage. But seeing as y'all already know what's happening, can his betrothed, or can the girl, I don't know what he said exactly, but it was basically saying Bestoli makoti uguti asonde. And now I don't know whether I should stand or I shouldn't, but I didn't stand. And this girl stood like a block away from where I was sitting. She stood up and she went to stage and she was all snap and she was so happy. Oh my word. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck is going on? What's happening? Oh, I'm gonna cry. I had to compose myself. I was like, I need to go outside. I need to get a drink of water. I need to breathe. I go outside, and so they're busy doing whatever it is that they're doing. I go outside and I can't breathe. I literally, I felt like a fat lady was sitting on my chest and I couldn't breathe. I call my girl. I call my girl, she doesn't answer her phone. I call my girl, she doesn't answer her phone. And I'm thinking to myself, I've got to drive back home. I'm in a state. I've got to drive back home. What do you do when things like this happen to you? I go back. Now, I can't drive back home because I've left my keys and my bag inside the church. So I've got to go back inside. So I go back inside. I pack my stuff back. I pack my stuff into my bag. And I get ready to leave. I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting for them to finish what they're doing. I know that they're going to start singing after they're done with this. When they start singing, I'm going to leave. And I pack my bag. I need a sip of tea. I pack my bag and I leave. As I approach the door to go outside, guess who is standing with his buddies tapping him on the back and saying, "Yeah, Ntanga, you've done well, son. You've done well." This guy, Jabu, and his friends. And he looks at me like he had heard that I was being buried last week. And he is currently seeing a ghost. And he's like, "What are you doing here?" I'm like, "This is church. What do you expect me to be doing here?" And he's like, "Yeah, the thing is, I'm sorry." I'm like, "I'm not gonna swear at you because this is the house of the Lord, but you know what you are." And he comes in for a hug, and I'm standing there going, "Ugh, you irk me." I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that I had broken up with the person 3 weeks prior to their engagement. A whole bunch of questions went through my mind on some. Well, clearly, I was the other woman. As much as that isn't nice, but I was clearly the other woman. Number one. Number two, I went through a whole bunch of things in my head on some. What? How? When? I mean, this is a person who people I know and people that I don't know consider to be a great person. How did this great person do this to me? I was hurt. I was truly hurt. But I was grateful that we had broken up, because if we were in a relationship, if him and I were still cool, and this happened, it would have shattered me. It would have broken me up into so many different little pieces that I don't think I would have known how to put myself back together again. But it still didn't make the blow that I felt better. It still didn't make what I felt about this man better. It took a lot for me not to slap him in front of his friends at the church. It took so much from me. I remember I sent him a text. No, I sent him a Facebook inbox sometime, and I told him the long and the short of what kind of a man he is. That he goes and he calls himself a man of God, and he does this to people. This is why people you go into a marriage and you've left broken hearts in the lane, and not broken hearts that people you've broken up with, broken hearts of you've just I don't even know what to say. Like, I was just so angry. But yeah, I attended my boyfriend's engagement at his church, and number one, it was one of those things that now I know it's one of those, if a man says he wants to marry you, don't believe him. Like, don't trust him until you are standing in front of an altar, standing in front of a pastor, and y'all are saying y'all's vows. Because nigga could promise you a train with no train tracks, and he could promise you the heavens and the earth and all of those things, but it's the actions that he does, the actions that back those words that mean something. So yeah, that's is my tea in a nutshell. And yeah, I know that for the friends that are going to be watching this and know who I'm talking about, guys, please don't name and shame. Don't comment with his name in the comment box, please don't. But for everybody else, thanks for watching. If this is your first time, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, leave me your comments down below. Tell me what you think about the story. Tell me what you think about my channel, and I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, and don't remember, I love you, God loves you, and have an excellent rest of the week. Mwah.